So perfect. Hey, if you did not hear over my voice, this is being recorded. So as Nina did mention, I am a BDM. I personally represent the Northeast, but again, I do try to be accessible. I do try to tell my agents, I am a tool you can use to make memorable vacations happen. So thank you very, very much for having Blue Diamond Resorts on tonight. I will tell you little sneak peeks of what we have going on. If you've already taken the training, I would suggest you stay on the line with us regardless. There was one particular property that I did not know that I went to see a few weeks ago, which was very exciting for me. So now I'm very proud and I fill my mouth and I say this, I know all of our resorts firsthand, which is awesome, right? So Blue Diamond Resorts does represent Royalton, Royalton Cheek, Hideaway, Planet Hollywood, Memory, Starfish, Mystique, and the Villas. The primary purpose of this particular training is that you're able to differentiate where will your customers fit best. What resort meets their standard? What resort meets their needs, right? And that's the purpose of this. So that by the end of tonight, you can say, wow, my customers will definitely be very happy in Planet. Or you know what? My customers might prefer Grand Lido, right? So let's see. But before we get to that, as in any other given subject, we still have to tackle history. I promise ours is not that boring. It's actually quite exciting. We are definitely very young in the industry in comparison with other brands. We did start in 2011, but for the US market, we actually opened our doors in 2013. Happy to say Royalton White Sands in Jamaica and Royalton Punta Cana in Dominican Republic are currently open and fully operational. Yet not dot this down, Royalton White Sands in Trelawney, Jamaica will be closing its doors this year from May to November for a full renovation. So again, Royalton White Sands will be closing its doors from May to November of this year to undergo a very intensive and intense renovation, much needed. When it reopens its doors, it will be reopening as Hideaway for Royalton Blue Waters. So right now it is family friendly. When it reopens, it will be adults only. Now the year continued to pass, right? And as you can see, it was definitely development year behind year. 2020 was a brutal, scary year for absolutely everyone in this world. And despite everything, if you recall, it all started as a hush. No one really knew what was going on. And despite this, we did open our doors for Royalton Grenada March 1st of the already mentioned year. We did have to close our doors 14 days later on the 15th of March, but the property did resurface again October of 2021. And since then, it's been fabulous. This is the one property I did not know, and I was there like 2 weeks ago. Is extraordinary. When we get to that particular property, we're going to speak more in detail, but it definitely is a little jewel in the East Indies. Then 2021 came along. We're all very happy, I bet. Just to switch that year over, I had the opportunity of going to their Planet Hollywood in January of the year, which was fantastic. So I live in Jersey. I live half an hour away from New York City. And the reason why I make that comment is because the area where I lived was definitely in complete shutdown. So to go back to the real world and really realize, wow, travel is back was definitely that shock that I needed. And a lot of people also to realize like travel is definitely back. Things are opening back. We're going back to normal. And as you can see, we are in 2023 in a full swing and travel is not left. It's a very high tide we've been riding for over a year now. And I think it will remain that way. I think 2020 taught us all that we have to appreciate the little things. That's why you guys are probably receiving someone calling you today like, hey, Nina, I want to leave in a week. Where are you sending me to? Right. And that's what we've all learned, that we really have to be able to live the life we want and enjoy the little things. And one of the little pleasures of life is called travel. So if you're new in this industry, if you're learning, trust me, you're in an amazing industry. And that is why we've continued to grow. Also in 2022, we just crossed that page over not long ago. We did open additional properties in Cuba. And for the US market, we actually opened Royalton Splash Riviera Cancun. This property opened its doors December 20th of 2022. I had the opportunity of going right before it opened, and I was like, oh my God. The resort is splendid. It does have 1,005 rooms as per the books. It is our first property to have swim outs on 3rd and 4th floors, which is fantastic. And it does have that multi-generational aspect, the same as Planet Hollywood, where there's so much to do. We're going to get in detail into that. Now, get your pens and notebooks ready, like Nina said, and dot this down. I am going to tell you what's next. Where is Blue Diamond Resorts headed? Well, we're happy to say we are opening a Royalton in Barbados. So definitely a new island on destination. We are opening a Planet Hollywood in St. Martin. This will be opening on the Dutch side of the island. So that's the English speaking side of the island. Also in the beautiful Antigua, we are developing our second property. Right now we do have Royalton Antigua. We are developing Royalton Cheek Antigua, and that will be in Halcyon Beach. And last but not least, in my little piece of paradise, Dominican Republic, we are developing our sixth property. It will be a Planet Hollywood on the north side of the island, which is Puerto Plata. And again, all this development is thanks to your travel advisors. Over 80% of our business does come from advisors, so we will be forever grateful. And as I said earlier, we do have properties in Cuba. It's a total of 33 of them. The reason why I say this is because if you've been in the industry for quite some time, you might recall when things started to open up for Cuba, which was amazing. So we don't ever say never, right? So take that into consideration that if things were to open back up to, give the US travelers access to Cuba, you have that option. If you do have travelers from elsewhere in the world, because that's the beauty of what we do, right, Lillian? We could be anywhere and sell to absolutely everyone. If you have a customer from the UK, if you have someone from Canada, you can actually offer them the option of going into these properties. Okay, so take that into consideration, because again, that's the neat part of Blue Diamond Resorts. We have a little bit of everything. So this is what I was referring to. This is our latest baby. Again, Royalton Splash Riviera Cancun is amazing, is a property that is fully multi-generational. And even though the complex itself is completely family friendly, it's as if the property were subdivided. So this is the way I explain it. If my back is towards the ocean, right? I have the left-hand side of the property, and that left-hand side has one small lazy river, and it has a pool with a swim-up bar. The customers and us agents and us BDMs, we love our swim-up bars. So that's on the left-hand side of the property. Now, the right-hand side of the property is where you will find 14 monster water slides. You're going to have a lazy river that goes through the cave. Inside that cave, there is a bowling alley. There is a laser tag room. There is a trampoline park. In that area, you also have the pizzeria where they make the pizza al forno. You also have, one second, because I keep getting little pop-ups. You also do have the gelateria on that side. So again, even though the property itself is fully multi-generational, the right-hand side of that property is more driven towards the younger ones, and the left-hand side for the adults. Again, it is our first property to have swim outs on 3rd and 4th floors, which is awesome. And as I like to tell agents, this industry does continue to evolve and innovate, and we will try our best to keep a par with the standard and with what's being booked now. So you definitely will have the option with us. It does have 12 amazing restaurants. One of my favorite ones, it's actually called the, oh my goodness, I forget. It's called La Marqueta. That's what it's called. It's called La Marqueta. And what it is, it's literally you're walking through the streets of Mexico. So the walls are graffitied, but it's actual art of Mexico, right? So it's something that you would actually see in the streets of. And there's little stores. There's a cantina, which is a bar right in the middle of it all. And then to the right-hand side, there's a big patio with a massive water fountain on it. And it just gives you that aspect of like, wow, this is Mexico. It's definitely quite a par with that destination. If you've not been, if you have a customer that you say, oh my God, they will absolutely love it, please 100% try it confidently. The resort is, as of right now, 95% ready. Reason why I say 95 is because the property did just open its doors again December 20th, and there's little things like certain plants still need to grow because we didn't bring them in grown, except like these palm trees that you see in that picture. But the gardens and whatnot, it's little things that do take time, and we want to allow nature the appropriate time to do its thing. Okay, so again, this is our latest baby, Royalton Splash Riviera Cancun, with 1,005 rooms. So if you say, where can I book next? This is definitely a great option. Okay, and again, it is family friendly. Now let's get into the brands. However, before we get into our babies, we still have to tackle this elephant in the room. I'm sorry. It is important for you as our advisors to know that Blue Diamond Resorts definitely met the requirements of the destinations. If you are young in this industry, if you did not go through this process, it was definitely very intense. But happy to say that Blue Diamond definitely met the standard needed to be operational when every destination did open up. However, we also did make a promise to our travel advisors as well as to our guests. Yes, we're here to make sure that customers have a fantastic time, that they're, in our resorts to have fun, unwind, and of course some R&R. But we also understand that their health and their their health and their safety is our priority. So there are certain things that were introduced during that we've actually still kept just to make sure that the quality standard's still there. So for example, our suppliers still have to go through a process every 3 months to make sure that no one's sick, that they're following certain protocols that were implemented just to avoid a spread of anything. Same thing with our staff. If any of our staff member does call out for whatever reason, they are asked to get tested still before they can return to the premise, because we want to be cautious, right? No one wants to go back to lockdown, and God knows it. Now let's get to the good stuff. This particular map, every time I see this map, it really does excite me because Blue Diamond Resorts has you covered. Whether a customer is looking for a vacation in Costa Rica and they want to be adventurous and really live that rainforest kind of vacation, go ahead, please be your guest. If your customer wants a traditional vacation in Punta Cana, we're happy to welcome them. But if they want to be a little bougie like Nina, let's send them to St. Lucia. All right. It's one of my favorite properties. We're going to get into that. But as you can see, Blue Diamond does give you that opportunity of having the traditional vacation. Whereas if your customer wants to be more of an explorer and go different places, you also have that option with Blue Diamond Resorts. Okay. Now let's get into the brands. This is our most well-known brand. This is Royalton Luxury Resorts. It's it's an all-inclusive brand. It is family friendly. And this particular brand does have something that carries across the board and makes the brand definitely very appreciated by Americans. With that in mind, we are actually owned by a family in Toronto, Canada. So we are made by North Americans for North Americans. So there's a lot of things that were implemented into what the concept of this resort or this brand is that were simply implemented because we understand that if they're not available, it's going to be a havoc. For example, if you've met me, if you've seen pictures of me online, I am a little slim person. However, I do have a large appetite. With Royalton Resorts, Lillian's just laughing. With Royalton Resorts, that's not going to be an issue. We do have 8 to 9 different restaurants available on property. And your traditional vacation for a U.S. traveler is 6 nights or 7 nights. That tells you as your advisor that they will have a different culinary experience opportunity every single night. If they want to marry the Italian for the rest of their stay, they certainly can. If there's just one Mexican, but again, you're giving them that option. Reason for that is because in the US, we've been extremely pampered. Where I live, again, I live in Jersey. I have the amazing blessing to say within a 5-minute radius, I have food, whether I want Japanese food, Mexican food, Spaniard food, Korean food. I mean, I have options. And there's the same thing with our particular guests, right? We want to make sure that they have that benefit of having options. So these restaurants are no reservation required. You can simply walk to the hostess. If seating is available, they will go ahead and seat you. Also in the US, we are fanatics of something. I am personally a baseball fan. I am a Yankees fan. Sorry, Boston, if anybody's here from Mass here. I am a Yankees fan to die for. And I will tell you, if I am on property and the Yankees are playing and a miracle were to occur, I still believe in those, and we have a full base and no outs, I am going to go watch my game. Okay. And that's fine because we are subscribed to all the major sport networks. So if your customer is concerned of missing their preferred team, of missing a certain game, no worries. They can come in-house, drink as much beer as they can, and eat as many wings as they want while they watch their preferred team because the game will be playing on property. Also, the room that you see on the right-hand side is the lead-in category. This is a luxury junior suite. And to be exact, this is in Royalton Negril. The reason why we showcase this room is you can see the rooms are very modern, very spacious. And nowadays, I wouldn't say it's a hit and miss. but you want to go to a place that's freshen up. Some place where you say, well, the furniture is not from the 1900s, but you want to feel that luxury and that modernness to where you're staying. Also, I have, as Nina, I do have a child. I have a 8-year-old brat. And as you see the little girl, I said I was going to change that picture into one of him in destination. Apparently, children need to be connected to the internet more than we do. That's perfectly fine. In Royalton, we do have the all-in connectivity that just provides complimentary internet connection up to 20 devices. At first, we were told that was a little extra, but guess what? Nowadays, it is definitely a necessity. Even our watches now need Wi-Fi at times to function. So if you think of a family of 4, if every one of them were to have a device, it could be up to, 12, 15 devices. Because nowadays everyone's traveling with their work laptop, they're traveling with their cell phones, maybe a tablet, and the whole list. Because we all need the connectivity. So again, this is complimentary, which makes it pretty cool. I also do think it's standardized now across the board to have room service, but guess what? We do provide a complimentary no matter which room category. Also, remember, all drinks and all cocktails are included. So we want everyone to feel as family. This is one of my favorite trademarks. No, that is not me. I really wish it was. This is our dream bed. These beds are actually made exclusively for the Royalton. They are hypoallergenic sealant. That just means, in good old American, a filter. And that filter does not allow humidity to penetrate the mattress. Okay. They're also solo split system. So there's no movement being sent from one side of the bed to the other. And you may say, well, why is this so important? Well, remember, a vacation is not just about partying and drinking. The customers also need to rest. But take into consideration that you can be in the best place in the world, and if you're not getting a good night's sleep, nor will your customers. So again, this is one of the most important trademarks to make sure that the customers are getting a fantastic night's sleep to ensure they're fully charged to enjoy the Royalton way. Then we have Royalton Chic Resorts. This brand is actually one of my favorites. As the slogan says, it is definitely party your way. They always have something continuously going on to ensure the customers are fully engaged. Whether it's a pool party, a foam party, a silent party, you name a party, they have it, right? Because we want to make sure the customers have something to have fun with. This particular resort, however, is 18 years and over. This is not a family property. Again, this is adults only. And when you think of that kind of property, you might already be thinking of a bachelorette party, a girls' getaway trip, a friends get together. That's perfectly fine. The only thing with that is there's a lot of drinking involved when this happens, but don't worry. There is something I like to call the Miracle Bar. Is actually our oxygen bar in Royalton Chic Resorts. How that works is if those girls decide to have too much champagne the night before, no worries. Next day, you can swing by the oxygen bar, get themselves an oxygen shot, and goodbye hangover. Give me a tequila, right? So it's just to keep that high continuously going. This is very important. This that you see here is actually level 18. Level 18 is part of Royalton Chic Suites Cancun, and as it says, it is the 18th floor of the tower. The reason why I'm taking my time to explain this is because even though this resort is also all-inclusive, level 18 is not. Reason for that is the property itself is right in the heart of Cancun, 10 minutes away from Cocobongo, 20 away from the airport. And when customers usually stay in this area, the reason for that is because they want to be able to mingle with the locals. They want to be able to go to the bar hopping and whatnot. Well, guess what? We want to give your customer that opportunity without having to leave the resort. Okay, so this particular area is open to locals. I'll show you in a future picture. There's an elevator that goes from the lobby all the way to the very top. It doesn't stop elsewhere to allow the customers, again, that opportunity of mingling with the locals without having to leave the resort. Okay, this is the one here is actually our famous mermaid pool, and that one is exclusive to Royalton Chic Punta Cana. As the slogan says as the name says, it is a mermaid pool. We have our entertainment team do amazing aquatic shows, and I really mean it. We know keeping an adult entertained could be more of a task than keeping a child entertained. So they definitely do know what they're doing. Again, 18 years and over, okay? Then we have Hideaway World. This brand I don't think could have been named anything else because that is precisely what it is. It is a hideaway option for customers that are booked in Royalton. Okay, customers that are booked in Hideaway at Royalton have full access to Royalton. I'm sorry, customers book in Hideaway at Royalton have full access to Royalton. Oh my God, I want to sneeze, but it's not coming. Have full access to Royalton. However, the Hideaway section is exclusively for adults. Okay, so customers that are booked in the Hideaway have their own check-in lobby. And I joke when I say this, but it is a reality. You know, when you're not traveling with children, you don't want to see them as gremlins in a lobby because it's been such a long day for them. You know, they're probably like, I want to go to the beach. And the parents are like, I need to check in. Like, they don't understand after an 8-9 hour travel day, they just want to either take a nap, get ice cream, or go to the beach, or all three together. So it's definitely not a pretty picture to see, especially if you're not traveling with kids. You don't want to see it. So again, guests in the Hideaway have their own lobby. They also have their exclusive pool and beach area. Why? Because as adults, even if we don't have kids, if we see a body of water and we see a kid, we're trying to make eye contact with someone like, whose kid is this? Like, there's water there, you know. So again, it's just another worry-free relaxation area. Same thing with the restaurants. They do have 2 exclusive restaurants only for guests in Hideaway, along with having full access to the complete complex on the family side. So yes, if they go to the buffet, for example, they'll see the kids while they're getting served, and then they're going to be seated in the Hideaway section. So they won't see the kids when the parents are trying to argue with them that they have to eat what they have in their plate. So again, this is great for family vacations. It's great for weddings. Why? Because we know not 100% of the weddings. No, I'm lying. Wait, let me see. Let me take that back. I'm sorry. Not 100% of the guests traveling to a wedding have kids. Yet we know 99.98% of weddings have kids. So those uncles and aunties can stand their nieces and nephews a limited quantity of time. So this will allow them, yes, quality time with their nieces and nephews, and then they will have their own vacation time. Because remember, customers traveling on an international trip or a wedding, they're taking time from their personal vacation to go on this wedding. So you want to make sure that they're also happy. So this is where we say togetherness with Hideaway at Royalton. Yes, they can have that family bonding aspect when they cross over to the Royalton, but then they can also enjoy a bit of a quiet without kids around. Yet take into consideration that if the customer is booked in Royalton and they are adults, they cannot cross over to the Hideaway. Only guests that are booked in Hideaway have access to the actual extras that the Hideaway does include. Same thing with the amenities in the room. There are additional amenities in the room. Just because we want a little more pampering, right? From time to time. Then we have Grand Lido Negril. This property is exclusive to the beautiful Jamaica, the heartbeat of the world. And as it says it's an all natural. This resort is 21 years and over. But remember, customers can waltz in there as God sent them to this beautiful earth. So if they tell you, oh, them luggage fees, it's okay, book them here. Tell them all you need is a backpack, okay? Customers booked in Grand Lido, again, are all natural. They have full access to the Royalton and Hideaway at Royalton Negril with their clothes on. Okay, they do receive mobile upon arrival or departure. You as your advisor would let us know which one you would like to offer. And this could be arranged, of course, prior to. Also, I do take a pause when I say this. This property, even though it's all natural, this is not for someone who just turned 21 and wants to experience an all natural resort. No, this is a more laid back, more European kind of vacation style of an all natural concept. Is for customers who are used to this kind of vacation. Okay, again, it's all natural, and it's the only one we have within our particular portfolio. Now we have Diamond Club. So Diamond Club is super important. From the get-go is an experience that will change your customer's vacation style. Yes, the price point of a Diamond Club group might be slightly more, but it's worth absolutely every additional cent. Why? Customers from the get-go that are checking in Diamond Club do not check in the regular lobby. They check in a lounge. And before they finalize their check-in process, they're already getting offered their drinks, small doors and whatnot as they wait or as they're getting checked in because that's one of the benefits. Customers booked here also do receive premium liquor. They are the ones that can make dinner reservations in advance. So as I said earlier, none of our restaurants do require reservations, but we all know apparently everyone in the USA wants to eat steak at 7 p.m. So our signature restaurant is called the Hunter Steakhouse. So that line can definitely become ugly. But guess what? If you are Diamond Club, you can tell your butler, hey, I want to make dinner reservations in the Hunter tomorrow at 7. Guess what? You go straight to the hostess, you have a reservation, and you sit down. You don't have to wait in line. You don't have to wait to get called for a seat to empty up for you to go. So again, that's definitely a pro of also the room locations. What do we mean by room locations? That just means that, let's say Lillian is booked in an Ocean View Diamond Club, okay? And Nora is booked in an Ocean View. Nora might be on the 2nd floor, whereas Lillian might be on the 3rd and 4th floor. That tells you that Lillian's going to have a more panoramic view of that ocean, whereas Nora might have a palm tree, like where she has to peek through the, through the leaves to be able to see that ocean. So that's just one of the things, or it could be the location. It could be that's in the main building by where all the restaurants are. So there are different aspects as to why they are preferred location, but nonetheless, they certainly are. Same thing with the pillow menus. I don't know if any of you have ever gone to a resort and you've asked for a pillow menu. I was like, why do I need a pillow menu? Until I realized I actually use a pillow menu because I like a certain pillow. So now I request, I'm like, can I see the pillow menu? Because I know I have a certain pillow that I like. So it's little things that will change your vacation. Also, customers do receive hydrotherapy during their stay for an hour, and that is complimentary, and discounts for the rest of the services. So there are a lot of little things that may not necessarily be like, okay, that's not that bad. But guess what? They also have their own pool, their own beach area where the Bali beds are, where they don't even have to get up from their lounge chair. Like a server comes to them and brings them their drink. I had an agent actually that she goes, Labra, now I know. I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, can you believe I went to a resort? I'm like, uh-huh. And I had to get up from my chair to get a drink. I'm like, no, impossible. Right. So again, it's little things that will impact on the way you vacation, because we want the customers to feel pampered, and that's definitely one of the ways. With Diamond Club, again, the price point might be a little more, but it is absolutely worth it. Okay, now let's get into Planet Hollywood. I like to say Planet Hollywood is a Royalton gone Hollywood. Why? Because Asleep famously, again, is our dream bed, solo split system with hypoallergenic sealant. Okay, main event guarantee. We are subscribed to all the major sport networks, but it is Planet Hollywood. So anything going on in Hollywood, like a red carpet, an awards night, or whatnot, we will also be showcasing it in-house so the customers can enjoy it. The all-in connectivity is our plugged-in trademark, complimentary internet connection, again, up to 20 devices. Restaurants, no necessary to have reservations. There is a different concept for Planet Hollywood that is similar to Diamond Club. We're going to get to in a little bit. And it is, again, a different brand. So this is where a twist comes in. And this is where your soundtrack works. It's actually a feature that I really, really, really like. So my favorite artist, his name is Josh Groban. For me to listen to Josh Groban, it's either Christmas or I have to look for him online. It's not music that randomly plays in the radio. So when you check in, when your customers are checking in, they will be asked for their preferred music genre or preferred artist. And the music selection that they've picked, they go to their TV, change the channel to a soundtrack, and that music selection that they've made is what will be playing in the room. So the purpose of that is, as any Hollywood star, they may have a song, a music theme that might get them into their persona. We want the same thing. We want your customers to feel like they're stars on property, to really get their groove and their mojo to enjoy their stay. Okay. Then we have the adult team. The adult team is the equivalent to the Hideaway in a sense. Why? Because customers that are booking the adult team have full access to the family side, not the other way around. Again, they have their own pool. This particular pool, I like to say, gets lit. In the afternoon, they do have a lot going on. whether it is they have afternoon music playing in this area or the entertainment crowd is here. This up here is actually the swim up bar for this particular pool, so you don't even have to get out to get your drinks. This is a little fun fact about this resort. The Planet Hollywood adult scene, the adult side, I'm sorry, 90% of the rooms on the first floor are swim out suites. However, on the family side, only 2 buildings have swim out suites. So remember that, take that into consideration. We do have, again, more swim outs on the adult scene than we do on the family side. Then we have Mystique by Royalton, excuse me. This resort, as the slogan says, it is miles from ordinary. Why? Because for starters, this is our first resort that is not all inclusive. This brand for us is actually EP. That stands for European plan. So customers pay as they go. And you may say, well, why do you guys have resorts that are not all inclusive? Well, remember what I said at the very beginning. Not every one of your customers is looking for the same kind of vacation. It could be the Linda's booked the family 5 times to Mexico. You know, that tells her that they love Mexico. But they may reach out and say, hey, Linda, we want to go back to Mexico, but we want to do something a little more authentic, not something as commercialized. This is where this property would come in, at least the one in Mexico. Customers would fly into Cancun Airport, take a transfer to Chiquila, and from Chiquila, hop on a ferry. The ferry is going to drop them off 90 seconds away from our resort, okay? The resort has 1 pool, 1 restaurant, and a spa. Mind you, the spa is literally a bed with with bamboo sticks by the beach. This is the spa. So again, it gives you the authenticity of the place, but the beauty of is that it's surrounded by restaurants owned by locals. Okay, the streets are not paved in Holbox. It's sand roads. So you have to walk everywhere, bike, or get on a golf cart. That's your way of moving around. But again, it gives you that opportunity of getting immersed in that culture without having to go to the commercialized side of a destination. And then we have Starfish. We like to say Starfish is considered our transitional brand. These resorts do turn eventually into something else. However, the ones that are operational are more of a budget-friendly resort. As the slogan says, that you're the star, not you, your customer. This will allow that particular, you know, American family, perhaps now with the full financial means to go on an international vacation, but they want to, right? Because we understand not every American household has the same means. So guess what? You might have a family that's never traveled abroad and they want to do at least once. This is where this resort comes in. Okay, this will allow those particular customers that opportunity of going abroad and experiencing the Caribbean within a budget price point. Okay, however, you explain to them, I'm very, very straightforward when I say this. Let's say the Royalton is a Marriott, well, technically almost is, right? And the Starfish is like an extended stay. So that gives you like a picturesque definition of the quality standard between the two. But again, I personally, as a mom, I've been in very odd, weird places where I'm like, why am I here? And my son is having the time of his life. So again, this is for that particular household in the US that might have a financial restriction with a limitation of a budget. Okay, this is again that Starfish brand. And now let's get to where we're located. Again, in Jamaica, the heartbeat of the world, we currently have 5 properties: Royalton White Sands and Royalton Blue Waters in Trelawney. They are half an hour away from the airport Jamaican time. Then we continue to Negril, my favorite side of the island, where we have Royalton Negril, Hideaway Royalton Negril, and Grand Lido Negril, the capital of casual of Jamaica. This is a little further away. It's approximately 45 minutes to an hour drive from MBJ Airport. And as I said earlier, remember, Royalton White Sands will be closing its doors from May to November. When it reopens, it will be opening as an adult-only property. Also, little fun fact, this land that you see here, this little land of mine, right here, that land is actually owned by us. So soon come, as they say in Jamaica, something else is brewing, okay? And that will be right here. Then let me just give you a little sneak peek of the rooms. As I said earlier, White Sands will be closing its doors for a full remodelation. Even the room size is definitely smaller. which is why at times white sands may be more affordable than blue waters. So it's taking us a little longer to close than we had hoped, just because it's always full. Okay, then our highest room category in Jamaica is the Chairman Suite. This particular suite can be a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom Chairman Suite. It is an exquisite suite. It is massive. Then we continue to Orlando, Mexico, where we are right now at a count of 7. We have Royalton Chic Suites Cancun, 20 minutes away from the airport, 10 minutes away from Cocobongo. And then this was the elevator I was referring to earlier. So this elevator right here goes from the lobby all the way to the very top, not stopping in between, to allow those locals to be able to join our guests and party in-house, okay? Then we continue to Royalton Riviera Cancun, Hideaway Royalton Riviera Cancun, and Royalton Splash Riviera Cancun. These are a little further away. It's approximately a 45-minute drive from CUN Airport, okay? Also take into consideration that if you are in Royalton Riviera, you do not have crossover privileges to Royalton Splash Riviera Cancun. This is very important. Again, there are not crossover privileges from this resort to the other. Reason being is because technically, I'll show you with this image. This is a Royalton, this is a Hideaway, and on this side is the Splash. So unfortunately, kids cannot go through here to go here. So there's no crossover privileges from this one to this one, okay? Again, very, very important. Then we continue our drive toward Costa Mujeres, where we have Planet Hollywood and the adult scene. This resort's a little further away, take an hour and 15 minutes from the airport. And as I said earlier, guests book in the family side, which is this side of the property, have full access to this side of the property, which is the adult scene. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness, I say that completely opposite. Lilia's like, yes, you did. All right, so I'm sorry, I know this is being recorded. So the customers in the adult scene right here have access to this side over here, not vice versa. And as I said earlier, this area, this big U, 90% of the rooms on the first floor, I don't know if you can visualize it, do have swim outs, whereas on this side, only 2 buildings. Then we continue to Holbox, Mexico. This is a little further away, and take into consideration that the reason for that is because there is a ferry ride involved. All right. So again, it's up to 2 hours. It usually does not exceed the 2 hours. But just, you know, give that time frame to your customers. Again, up to 2 hours to arrive to Holbox, Mexico. This little sneak peek of the rooms again, so you get an idea of the layout. The junior suite is our lead-in category. This is literally the room I've stayed in every single time I've gone to Mexico. Yes, as your BDM, I do get the lead-in. You guys, you get, you know, the producers and the chairmen and the whole shebang, because you are the ones definitely working hard to fill in those resorts. Then we have Royalton Splash Punta Cana. This resort is being showcased because it was previously called Memories Splash. However, before the pandemic, we were aware that the property needed a tummy tuck and it needed a Brazilian butt lift. It needed a whole bunch of stuff. Lydia's just laughing. And we were aware of it. So we started working on it month behind month, and now it meets the standard of a Royalton. So again, it is definitely meant to cater families with younger kids. This particular resort is also known because of its amazing water park. It's a lot of fun. I remember the first time I brought my son, I was really happy Daddy was there, because Mr. Liam did not want to get out of the pool. My husband goes, nope, let's go. So again, it is a brand itself that is meant to cater families with younger kids. The one in Mexico is a little different. The water slides are bigger. It's a more, again, multi-generational. This one, however, is meant to cater those families with children, perhaps 12 years and younger. Even in the buffet, even in the restaurants, when they sit down, it's crazy. The little ones are being asked what they want to eat first. Like, of course, they'll make contact with the parents, right, in case of allergies or whatever. But the little ones are being asked what they want to eat first. The layout of the room is more spacious. It's funny enough, they're smaller, but apparently they need more space. Understand, but it's okay. Even this particular pool that you see here, I'm again, I'm very small. I'm only 5'4", and this pool here is extremely kid friendly. It's quite shallow. It does not pass my thighs. And again, it's just a less worry for a parent, you know, with an 8-year-old or a 6-year-old, with that worriness, oh my God, that pool's so deep. So again, it's meant to cater families with younger kiddies. This is my piece of paradise, a place I call home when I go. Royalton, Punta Cana, Hideout Royalton, Punta Cana, and Royalton Splash Punta Cana are all within one large complex. If you are in Royalton, Punta Cana, you can cross over into Royalton Splash Complimentary. So you stay in one, play at two. This resort complex is a 25-minute drive from the airport, but it was always filled to capacity. I wonder why. Which is why a few years ago we did build Royalton Vavaro, which is the baby in destination. And this resort is literally right next door with another set of 730 rooms. And it is a 26-minute drive from the airport. When I'm telling you they're right next to each other, I really mean it. Also, it is interesting. If your customer is booked in Royalton Vavaro, Diamond Club, they can cross over complimentary to Royalton Splash Punta Cana. There is a trolley that brings them to and from. Again, and they can cross over complimentary. If they are not Diamond Club, there is a fee. As of today, March 29th, it is a $35 fee per person per day. Reason why I set the date is because that pricing could always change. Okay, so don't write it in stone. If you have customers headed and they're asking you the pricing, send me an email. We'll reach out to the destination to make sure we have the latest pricing. Okay, Royalton Chico Punta Cana, it's a little further away. It's in Número Alto, and this is our adults-only property. It is a 45-minute drive from PUJ Airport, okay? Again, remember in Dominican Republic, we are developing our number 6, which will be on the other side of the island. It will be in Puerto Plata. This is, again, the layout. As you can see, it's pretty standardized. However, I do like to showcase this. Remember what I said about the splash? It is meant to cater families with younger kids. So you might not see it, but if you focus, you will. On this side, there's a bunk bed. Bunk bed has a twin on top and it has a full on the bottom. Kids love that. But the part the parents like best is this particular division. This particular setup like this is only exclusive to Royalton Splash Punta Cana. Okay, so this is pretty neat, pretty interesting. Again, the presidential suite is right below the chairman suite. It is our second highest room category. And in Royalton Vavaro, the chairman suites actually have its own building. It's its own building. It's a black marble, beautiful, magnificent thing. And only chairman suites are in that building. And that is exclusive to Royalton Vavaro. Then we arrive to Royalton St. Lucia, my favorite resort. Royalton St. Lucia, Royalton St. Lucia, however, is a bit of a hike. I just had an agent calling me, so I had to hang up. It's a bit of a hike. It is a 90-minute drive from UBF. Now, I don't know if any of you have been to St. Lucia. It is a beautiful island. They call it the Hawaii of the Caribbean, Nina, in case you miss the West Coast, swing over. The beauty of this particular destination is they have a very famous slogan, which I personally adore, and it is let her inspire you. Let the island inspire you. This particular property does have a helipad right next door. So because this particular destination is so exclusive, perhaps 8 out of 10 guests coming our way are celebrating a milestone, whether it's an anniversary, a honeymoon, a big birthday. Again, certain milestones that for them are definitely worth a vacation to St. Lucia. If that is the case, give them the option from the get-go of a helicopter transfer. Yes, it's not going to be 90 minutes. I can tell you that. It's going to be like a 10-minute helicopter transfer, but again, it's absolutely worth it. Changes their starting of their vacation. It just gives it a whole more of exclusivity to the vacation itself. However, let's say you're working with a group and you say, I can't tell everybody to buy a helicopter transfer. Don't worry. There is a new development on the island, which is cool. And it's like a water taxi. It's like a little ferry that brings you from the airport to our resort. And it's really cool because it's a nice way to start the vacation, especially if you're working with a group, right? They can all go together in that little boat without having to go on those roads. And the reason why I mentioned this, again, the island is beautiful. My favorite resort is this one, but the roads are very windy in St. Lucia and very narrow. And it's, for me, felt like a roller coaster. Again, I say this as a personal experience. because I had never gotten car sick until I went to St. Lucia. Okay, so this is super important that you take into consideration and you give the customer the option from the get-go. If they say no, it's okay. When they complain to you, about the transfer time and the road, you can go ahead and tell them, I told you so, right? That's why I'm the travel agent. You tell them. All right. Then we have Mystique St. Lucia and Starfish St. Lucia. These are actually closer to the airport. They're like an hour drive from UBF. But if your customer tells you, hey, I want to go to St. Lucia to the party spot, you would not send them to Royalton. Royalton's a more posh feeling, more exclusive, whereas Mystique and Starfish are literally in town, and that's where the locals go and party and have their little evening gatherings, and you can join part of the local fun. So if your customer tells you that they want to go to St. Lucia and really experience the St. Lucian party vibe, you book them either Mystique and Starfish. Fun fact, if you're booking Mystique through Vacation Express or Pleasant Holidays, whichever one you prefer, you have the option of booking it EP, which is again European plan, or AI, all inclusive. So it's pretty cool. Again, this is just a layout of the rooms. Remember what I said earlier, Starfish is going like back to the 90s. There's a picture, I'm not lying. Okay, and of course, Mystique is more of a traditional, no extra, no luxury behind, where the Royalton definitely does shine because of their unique appearance. Then we have Royalton Antigua. This resort is a beauty. It's a 15-minute drive, maybe 10-minute drive from the airport, extremely close. It is a family-friendly resort, and nothing in Antigua was taller than a palm tree until we came up. This is actually Royalton Antigua, this particular tower here. But that is not why we're famous in Antigua, is because of these babies. You see them right here. There are 6 of them, are over the water bungalows. This is our highest room category within our complete portfolio. These are adults only, up to 3 adults. Do not ask me why a third one. I don't know. I just have to teach you, right? It is customers that are booked here are fully pampered. Yes, they receive butler service. You can let us know what they want to drink. We'll have it in the room for them. They get a private dinner exclusively for them in the bungalow. If they want to do their yoga or Pilates routine, I don't go to the gym anymore. But if your customers do, Lillian might enjoy this. The actual trainer comes to the bungalow. They don't even have to go to the gym. The instructor comes to them. They get snorkel gear. It's to the point that if they don't want to do their laundry, no worries. We will do their laundry for them to come back with a clean batch of clothes. So they're super, super pampered. And of course, they get private luxury transportation to and from the airport. So this is, again, our highest room category. That is why we are known in the beautiful island of Antigua. And again, we're super, super close to the airport. This is a layout that I really like showcasing. Yes, this is Antigua, okay? However, this is our standard layout in Royaltons. You either get 2 queen-size beds and a pull-out, or you get 1 king-size bed and a pull-out. This is super important. Reason 4 is if Michelle sends me an email and says, hey, Lyra, I need 2 beds in a room, this is not guaranteed. I'm going to stop sharing and I will reshare because I'm going to show you how to guarantee the bedding. Uno momento, everyone. I just want to make sure I have it. Here it is. Nope, that's not it. Okay. Sorry. I found it. So I'm going to reshare again, so we can all get the tea. Lillian, can you see my screen? Yes? Okay, perfect. So let's say the Lillian has, where did it go? Oh, Jesus. The Lillian has a customer, and in that room, there are 3 girls. And they say, hey, Lillian, we love each other, but we don't love each other that much. We need, like, at least 2 beds. That's fine. Lillian's gonna send me an email. Hey, Lyra, I have a booking, blah, blah, blah. It's 3 girls. I need to have 2 beds. Yes, I can happily connect you with the team. We can happily add the notes. But guess what? When the customer is checking in the lobby and that front desk agent sees that line, they're not gonna go in the system to see what room is ready to be loaded that has 2 beds. They're going to take whatever the system gives them because that's what's available. Okay. However, if you need to guarantee the bedding, you go here. You go to royaltonresorts.com. Okay. You're going to go to menu. And let's say they want to be bougie and go to Grenada. Oh. Okay. And they go to Grenada. Okay. We're going to let it load. And on the left-hand side, again, on the very top, it says online room selection, which is going to bring you here. Okay. The online room selector simply asks you for the customer's first, last name, email address, check-in date, and the resort that they're headed to. Now, I know you're all very smart and you want to filter anything and everything coming in through the customer. So you put your email address. So the reason why I say this is because the email address you're going to key in here is the email address that the tour operator has, not your customer's email address. The tour operator, the email address your tour operator has. Okay. Also take into consideration that the payment needs to be made in full for you to be able to use this tool. Okay. So how it works is that you're going to put again the customer's first and last name, their email address, and the whole shebang. When this happens, you're going to get a blueprint of the resort. So not only are you going to be able to see the bedding options available, but you're also going to be able to see where those rooms are. So at times, guess what? Lillian's customers might not care about having those 2 beds. They might care about being as close as possible to the beach. They might care as being as close as possible to the lobby, right? So this is the only way to guarantee room location or bedding, or both of the above. It could be that they don't care where they are, and it's 2 rooms, and they tell Lillian, listen, Lillian, we want to make sure we're right next to each other. Yes, you can guarantee this using this tool. It does carry over a small search charge, but it is absolutely worth it. Why? Because this might be the reason why they're traveling together. This might make their vacation. So again, if they are adamant about the bedding, about location, this is the way to do it. Yes, feel free to send me an email and let me know. We'll add the notes, but that is not guaranteed unless you use this. It does carry over a small search charge. It could be from $60 to $130, depending on the room category, but you're going to know the pricing before you finalize the booking. Okay, I've changed over my screens now back to the bedding. You see it, Lillian? Okay, perfect. So again, this is a standard view, 2 queen size beds and a pull-out, or 1 king size bed and a pull-out. Also take into consideration the actual views. In Antigua, we have mountain view or bay view. And I'm going to go back because I want to show you. This is the main building right here. This here is not the ocean. It's a bay. So the water, yes, it's moving water, so it's not like a dump. You know, it's not a swamp, so it doesn't smell. But the water, it may not be visible in this picture. It looks very, very, very blue, but this water is more greenish. And then you have the mountain view. Reason why I say this is because if your customer's asking for an ocean view and they'll tell you, it doesn't say ocean view, and I asked you, I wanted to see the ocean. Listen, if you're in the 8th, 7th, 6th, you're gonna see the ocean. You just have to move your body a little bit to the left and you'll see the ocean. But again, we do not sell ocean view here because if your customer is right in front of the balcony, that's not what they will see. Okay, and of course, bay view. Also take into consideration this in Antigua. The bay view rooms are slightly bigger than the bay view. I'm sorry, the mountain view rooms are slightly bigger than the bay view. And at times that might be the breaking point where they'll tell you, oh no, we'll stay then with the mountain view because it has bigger, like more space in the room. Okay. Then we arrive to Planet Hollywood, Costa Rica. I like to say Planet Hollywood, Costa Rica is an emerald within our portfolio. The staff in this resort is 100% driven by customer service. They will go outside of the box, through the box, to make sure that the customer's regards or needs are met. They will try their best to ensure that every single guest staying in Planet Hollywood, Costa Rica feels like a star and nothing other. But take into consideration that this resort does not have white sand. This is what you get. We do have black sand because of previous volcanic activity in that area. Sorry. And I have to say, as a Caribbean girl, I was a little hesitant at first. I was like, I don't know, I can't see my feet. Yes, you can see your feet. It's just that the water is, the sand is black. It's a little different, but I was super surprised because the water was super warm. So again, it's a different destination per se, but this is an adventurous destination. So if your customer does tell you, hey, we want to be adventurous, we want to do something different, this is the place to send them to. You would book them through Liberia Airport, LIR, and this is a half an hour drive from that airport, okay? This here is the lobby. This over here is where most of the restaurants and the entertainment is. And then down here is where you have the spa, Guy Fieri's famous burger joint. You have the Tex-Mex down here. And where it says room is the way to the beach, this area over here. This that you see here is the Star class pool. Remember, the Star is the equivalent to Diamond Club, okay, right here. These are the accommodations. As I said earlier, same thing, just different terminology. So the director's suite is the equivalent to a presidential's. The producer's suite is the equivalent to a the producer's suite is the equivalent to the chairman's suite. So directors is presidents, chairman's is producers, and of course the junior suite is a lead-in category. Then we have Royalton Grenada. I was in this marvel of a resort 3 weeks ago. It's funny though, my husband picked me up in the airport and he goes, "You sure you were in Grenada?" I'm like, "Yes." He goes, "Where's the tan?" I'm like, "Apparently I left it." It's funny how if your spouse does not work in this industry, they don't understand. It's about work. Nina knows. You get to a destination and it's conference behind conference and training and meetings. But I did go, I promise. I put my foot in the sand. I took a picture in the sand. It's a beautiful resort. When I tell you it's a 5-minute drive, I am lying. Our driver picked us up, and by the time I pulled my wallet, he goes, "We're here." I'm like, "Huh?" And in my head, I'm like, why am I giving this guy a $5 tip for a 1-minute ride? It's literally right next to the airport. However, despite its proximity, the planes are not going over us. They're going in the opposite direction, okay, which is pretty interesting. So this area is where the main entertainment is. This is where you have the buffet. This is where you have the French restaurant, where you have the Indian restaurant, where you have the bar, where you have that open theater, all in this redded area here. That's also by where the lobby is. And I have to say, this particular property is exactly that. It feels like the resort was put in a big, lush, tropical garden, not in a bushy garden, in a tropical garden. It is very, very nicely kept, but it feels authentic to that destination. Again, it is a family-friendly resort. This area over here is where the Italian restaurant is, up here. You don't see it, but it's further this way. And on that side, the beach does continue to stretch. So this is not just the beach. We have more beach on the other side. Here it's not visible, but if you are religious, it's amazing how if you're up here, there's actually a cross in the water that it's just there. So we actually get a lot of brides and a lot of like persons that do take pictures here, just because on this backdrop, there's an actual cross in the water, which is interesting. These over here are the Diamond Club buildings. This is the only elevator. I'm sorry, this is the only building in the property that has an elevator. Okay, so again, if your customer has a walking restriction and they tell you I need to be on the first floor, you can only guarantee that if you use the online room selector. However, if they are wheelchair bound, if they need a wheelchair accessible room, that's a different animal. Please send me the booking details. Let me know my customer is wheelchair bound. We need a handicap accessible room. We have very limited quantity of them across the board. Like this property has only 5. So again, make sure that you send the request as soon as you make the booking, because it is based on request. Okay. Again, these is the room categories. Also, I'm surprised it's not in this picture. So sad. This resort has actually my favorite room category, and it's literally a walkout. What I mean by walkout is, remember, Grenada is outside of the hurricane belt, so we've taken a risk. This is our first property that you can go from your room onto the beach. Literally, there's no barrier. It's not far away from the beach. You can go from your room to the beach. right there. You can get out and step on the sand. Again, I am a Caribbean girl. I love my beach. I love my sand. So I was captivated when I saw this because it is the first one within our, within our portfolio that does have this. Weddings, if you book weddings, they are beautiful. We are able to hold weddings across the board in all of our destinations, including Indian weddings. So if you're ever approached, do not be hesitant. Feel free to reach out. I do have all of our wedding packages. If you need them, send me an email. I'll happily send them your way. And our wedding consultants are actually in Toronto, Canada. The reason for this is they do the complete contracting aspect there. And before the wedding does take place, and they connect the bride and groom and of course their advisor to the planner on property, just to go over the final details and make sure everything is as per contract. This is again just an image of the Indian weddings. Remember, these can last from 7 nights to 14. If you ever approach, if you've never done the one, hey, don't say no, say yes, jump right on it. Again, our team will happily walk you through every single step of the way. These are definitely a lot of commission. Bollywood weddings are exclusive to Planet Hollywood. So remember, Blue Diamond Resorts is ideal for romance to begin your forever in paradise. Now let's talk about your money. If you are falling asleep on me, wakey, wakey, this is something that you need to stay fully awake with and alert. This is our rewards portal. All I can ask you today is take this in mind. Make sure you're registered. Go to bdagentrewards.com, okay, and you register all your future bookings headed our way for Royalton, Hollywood, Planet Hollywood, Hideaway, Mystique. You load them, okay? How it works is that our rewards do have a cash value. You register, and when you make your first redemption, you're gonna get this Visa card. This card you can use as you'd like. You can go shopping with your card. You can go to an ATM and withdraw the funds. But that's not just it. The funds on your card will permit you to getting travel agent rates. It will also get you invites on FAMs based on your productivity. Okay. So again, I ask you, register your bookings. Reason why I say this is because when you as an agent are booking through a tour operator, we can see the tour operator's numbers, but I can't see Nina's numbers. I can see the tour operators. Whereas if you register and you're registering under Evolution, I'll see Evolution because you are registering under them. Okay, so take that into consideration. Again, it's extra money you're leaving on the table. I joke when I say this, but it truly is true, maybe. If I could keep your money, I wouldn't tell you, I wouldn't remind you, but I can't keep it. It just gets lost. So again, this is just a bonus, a thank you from us to you for booking our resorts. And again, all you have to do is register those bookings before your customers travel, okay? The only tour operator that doesn't earn points, and it's not really a tour operator, it's called Beds Online. Remember, they are a bed bank, not necessarily a tour operator. So take that into consideration. And then this is our team. You do not see me on camera. I look beat up. I'm going to the hairdressers. I'm going to Vegas on Friday for Travel Agent Forum. So if you're going, you're going to see me. My territory is a beautiful District of Columbia to the very cold state of Maine, which is why they're going to see me like in June. I'm already planning my visits up there, like crossing over to Canada almost. Again, my territory is the Northeast. If you're outside of my territory and you need help, you could always reach out. If you forget who your BDM is, I don't mind. I will happily respond to your query, to your request, and then copy in with your BDM. It's funny because Nina says she's in Atlanta. She's not even mine, but she hasn't been mine. She's just in Hawaii. But look at that. Again, I do try to be accessible. I do try to be a point of contact. As I said at the very beginning, I want to be a tool you can use to make memorable vacations happen. I don't know if you want to stop recording and open it for questions. Again, everyone, thank you so very much for booking our resorts. Thank you for giving us the opportunity. And Blue Diamond does continue to grow thanks to you. So, Nina, Lillian.
I'm here.
Miss Peachy.
Guys, take a moment and thank Lida in the chat box. I told you guys that you were going to be wild. She knows everything about these doggone resorts. I love it when she's on. Lida, do you have a moment to answer some of these questions? And guys, take a screenshot.
Absolutely. I don't know if let me see if I can see any actually, or did you dot them down as they were coming through?
I can go back up and get them. I got you.
Oh, they keep writing something. Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure. Property was very dated. That was Royalton. Oh, yes, was very dated. Which one?
Royalton, but you said that they are updating.
Yeah, so Royalton White Sands is the one that's very outdated, and that's the one that will be closing its doors. Yes, and White and Splash was outdated. Yeah, sorry.
Someone asked, is
That's the one that got the
Hideaway,
tummy tuck, Yari.
is Hideaway, so Hideaway is a service in every resort? Was a question.
No, so the Hideaway is available in Royalton St. Lucia, Royalton Negril, Royalton Riviera Cancun, and Royalton Punta Cana. So it's not available in Antigua, it's not available in Grenada. But we definitely do have one in Jamaica, one in Mexico, one in Dominican Republic, and one in St. Lucia. $60 charge, what is this?
What were you talking about that had a charge? Because that,
The rewards, no, I'm lying. The online room selector does have a charge. It could be from $60 to $130, depending the room category that the customer is in. But again, you will know the pricing prior to making the actual selection. Like the system will tell you.
you had another question. I guess you were going over the properties in Antigua, and the question was asked, is this only for Antigua?
The over-the-water bungalows, yes, the over-the-water bungalows are exclusive to Antigua. There is a little bird that said, right now we have 6. There's a little bird that said there's 7 more coming, but no date was given.
Guys, write that down, because that is a question that y'all ask me in that Q&A group at least 10 times a week. Where are the over-the-water bungalows? Now you see why it's important for you guys to get on these
You
trainings.
don't have to go to Tahiti.
Those questions
Right
that you
there in
asked
Antigua.
are answered right on the trainings, y'all. Okay, so let's see what else.
Currently, let me see. Currently have a reservation for this resort. I wonder which one, Leon.
He said he didn't get the agent rate though, but he will the next time.
I'm not sure. So for travel agent rates, how that works is that you would send me the request within 90 days of travel. So we are in literally April, so I can see the rates for April, May, and June. I cannot see September, I cannot see August. Yet take into consideration that you need to have bookings registered in the portal. The system does not allow us to even go in if there's nothing registered. It simply gives us an error. So again, you feel free to send me the request. I can happily look. Also, it is based on availability. We have a separate allotment for travel agent rates. We do not pull from live allotment. I've had agents that said, Lyra, but there's availability. Yes, there could be availability, but not in our allotment. So take that into consideration. So do send me an email within 90 days of travel. And if you have bookings in the portal, remember this, the system will at least allow me to check.
Okay, so you have to book.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, keep that in mind, folks. So
I did see something about Marriott. So yes, we 22 of our properties are part of the autograph collection with Marriott. And I've had agents that are concerned. And you know, I understand. But guess what? It's nothing to be concerned about. It's completely the opposite. If you've been in industry for quite some time, then you're aware Marriott is a brand that has been in industry for over 90 years. Their motto is service. So for us to be part of the autograph collection, no, they did not buy us. We paid them to become part of the franchisee, which is a big realization for a lot of agents. We paid them to become part of, because we understand that being part of such a big chain will increase our quality standards. So I do think it is a win-win for you as a travel advisor as well as your consumer. I've read concerns where they say, well, but I'm going to lose a customer. Not at all. Remember that you as an advisor have the power of giving them a package deal. If they're booking on their own, guess what? You can't help them. Something were to hit the fan, let's not say what it is, you can't help them. But if they're booking through you, you're able to book them their transfers, their flight, and their resort package in one deal. They can make a deposit with you without having to pay the full batch out. And you can make payment plans. They can't do that if they're booking direct. They got to pay, right? So with you, they have so many benefits, especially if you're working with a group. If you're working with a group, you're already getting concessions. If they're booking outside of that group, guess what? They're not going to be able to go to that private dinner. They're not going to be able to go to that private function because they're not part of that group. So always have that as a back end knowledge, because that will definitely be your comeback. Okay.
An agent asks, where do you book the resorts?
You can book them through your preferred tour operator. You could either use ALG. ALG has different branches. They have Funjet, they have TI, they have Apple. You can use Delta. You can use Pleasant Holidays. You can use whichever tour operator you feel comfortable using. Again, we are available through all of them. If you decide to book direct, however, you're only getting a 10% commission, and I know you're in it for the money. However, I also do know that agents at times may want to go direct because they're like, I don't want a middleman. I don't want to have to wait for a response from someone when they're going to you. So again, it depends really what you're looking for, but if you book direct, it is only a 10% commission. If you book through a tour operator, you may receive more commission because of the years that Nina's been in the industry fighting for you guys. So she does get perks here and there, and that's for all of you. And Nishiam, wow, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Please send me an email and I'll have them sent your way. She wants the wedding packages.
You see Leon's question. He says, are there any perks for Marriott members versus Diamond members when booking travel?
So that's good. So if your customer books through you, a travel advisor, and they're Bonvoy members, as per the Bonvoy policy, they do not earn Bonvoy points. However, you let them know that when they're checking in that they give their Bonvoy member number, and they're going to earn points for additional purchases. So if they decide to buy a spa package, they'll earn Bonvoy points. If they decide to buy bottles of wine or bottles of liquor, so whatever extras or whatever enhancements they're doing to their vacation on property, they will earn those points. But as for the Marriott policy, third-party bookings do not earn Bonvoy points.
Got a question about properties in Cuba from Lillian, our Cuba girl.
Our Cuba girl. All right. So in Cuba, again, we have 33 beautiful resorts. We have in Varadero, we have in Cienfuegos, we have in Holguin. We have them everywhere throughout Cuba. I am not very versed in the properties because, as you know, it's not available for the US market. I know a little more than I should in a sense because I previously worked with our sister company Nexus Tours, and I used to handle a European account and our Canadian account. So I know a lot about it, but technically it's not available for the US market. But again, there are 33 and they're spread out throughout Cuba.
Fun fact, Lida, my son Curtis Kennedy Jr. was born in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba.
Excuse me. Excuse me, a little Cubanito.
Is Diamond available at every resort?
So yes, Blue Diamond is the chain. I guess it would be, you maybe got confused with Diamond Club. So Diamond Club, yes, is available in all of our properties, okay? But take into consideration that because of all the perks, these are the rooms that do sell out the fastest. But if you are a travel advisor and you say, hey, I'm going, but I don't have Diamond Club, please shoot me an email. And as a courtesy, we do make sure that all of our agents in-house do have Diamond Club, even if you didn't pay for it, because we want you to definitely experience the Royalton way. And the way to really sell it and understand that it's experiencing it. Again, that agent that had to get up from her Bali bed to go get drinks, because she's used to it. But in Planet, it's called Star Class. So instead of having a butler in Planet Hollywood, you have a personal agent. Instead of having a lounge, you have a green room. So again, it's the same exact thing, just the terminology might change. If you go as an advisor or if your customer goes and says, hey, I have Diamond Club, they'll understand. It's just that the terminology is slightly different. Anything else I am missing?
When can the agent start traveling around with working? I'm not sure.
I guess maybe, when can the agent start traveling around with working? I'm not sure if I understand your question, but I'm trying to see if maybe I got it right. When can you start getting travel agent rates? As Nina said, you book, and once you have those bookings in-house, and I'm super blunt again, I'm from Jersey. When I say this, I will give an agent booking our properties the benefit of coming with me on a fam. Why?
True.
Because they're giving us already the benefit of the doubt. So please do not get offended by this if you're a new agent. If you don't have anything in the books for me, I'm not gonna have you on the list for my fam. I am sorry. Why? Because at least one agent, she says, I've never been, but I want to book it. Let me book it. Let me try them. Same thing. You give me the benefit of the doubt, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt once I see those numbers in there. At least one booking. But make sure you're registering. Same thing with travel advisor rates. Nina's booked us before. If Nina says, hey, Lyra, I want to go to Planet Hollywood to experience it. I had a family and they loved it, but I've never been. I would not say no. I would go in the system and verify if there's availability. Why? She's already booked someone there. She wants to experience it. I actually had an agent who booked us a lot, like a lot. And I had a fam, and it was her first time staying in a Royalton. She had never stayed in a Royalton, and she stayed in a Royalton for the first time with us on a fam. Mind you, she sells us. She calls me at least 4 times a week because she has more guests headed our way. That's how many bookings she sends us, and she had never stayed. So for me, it's, when an agent tells me, oh, I can't sell what I don't know, I understand. But sometimes, you know what? We have faith and we can't see it. That's what I say. Okay. So again, I'm sorry if I offended anyone. I'm very, very blunt when it comes to this. Nina knows. And that's why I love Nina, because she encouraged you guys to make sure you have the tools. She encourages you have the knowledge. So when you don't tell her that you don't know.
Do you offer exclusive discounts for us to offer to our clients?
No. The most discounts or specials you would get, do we apply in Diamond Club on a different site? Yes, you would, and it's not really applying, it's just registering. Evolution is already registered on their BD Agent Rewards. I'll put it right here for you guys again. I don't know if you can still see my screen.
Take a screenshot, y'all.
BDAgentRewards.com. That's where you would go and register. Again, Evolution is already there. Or is it Archer, Nina? I have to check.
It might be Archer. It might be on the Archer travel.
Yeah. Sure. I would have to check. But again, the agency that you are under, if you're under Nina, it's already registered. You just have to make sure that you are. And again, the bookings are not automatically loaded here. You have to do it before your customers travel. Now, going back to those discounts, unfortunately, we don't really offer exclusive discounts in a sense. But if you have a customer that's headed our way and it's their birthday, it's their anniversary, let me know. Send me the booking details. And as Nina said, we'll try our best to make them feel special. If you want us to print out a note from them, from you to them, we'll print it out and put it with the amenity so they know that that request came from you, their advisor.
Guys, don't hesitate to check our tour operators, check in Bats, check in Pleasant Holidays, check our vendors. They may have
because they throw specials too. They had a St. Patty special. What's coming around the block? I don't know what other specials are coming, but for every major holiday, usually there are specials. For the 4th, there's specials across the board in the travel industry. So just make sure that you're following up, and those newsletters that you're getting, then don't send them to spam. Check them out, because you might be getting news that you think it's crap, but it's not.
Sure. I got a private message that says, so all we have to do is book clients, then email one of the BDMs to get the agent rates.
Affirmative. You got that right. Let me see. I don't see any other questions. Please do not be shy, because trust me, if you ask Nina something that was told here, she's gonna be like, you weren't paying attention. Watch a recording. You say, I can see her face like, yep.
You already know me. So I got another private message that says, how does this work? I'm very sorry. I just want to make sure. I just joined 2 days ago and I'm still kind of stuck on what happens after we book. I think she just covered that. So you want to make sure that you're registered with the website that she has on the screen right now, so that you can log your bookings. And then when you're ready to stay, you send an email and introduce yourself, ask for what you're asking for, give them your travel dates, and they're going to, like Lida said, verify you in the system, and then they're going to check availability, and you guys will email back and forth. So it's a simple process. Try not to get overwhelmed. It is a lot of information, especially if you're brand new, but this is a very simple process. Make sure that you take a picture of what's on the screen. Don't trust your memory. Take a picture here and then go back over it after the training.
Yep.
If we book
Budget,
in Funjet, do we still get email?
yes, any tour operator, again, any major tour operator, the only one that's not in there, as I said earlier, is Beds Online. Remember, they're not considered a tour operator, they're a bed bank. So again, it's not a major tour operator, but GoGo's there, Delta's there, Funjet, Apple, again, they're all there. So no matter which tour operator you're using, it's there. If you decide to book direct, then it's going to be under Sunwing, because remember, we are owned by the family in Canada, and they are the Sunwing Travel Group. So they are a little big in Canada.
Right, so far that looks like the last question that I have. Guys, going once, going twice, get your questions in, because like she said, don't wait to the end of this webinar and try to send me an inbox, because I'm not going to answer it. It's 100 of y'all. So I'm
Gonna be like, what's our recording again?
not getting trapped in that inbox with these questions. So make
And
sure
she
that
might know the answer, but you should have paid attention. That's what she will tell you.
make sure you ask her, and the recording will be ready in about 72 hours or so, 72 business hours. But make sure that you ask your questions. You got that one, Lida?
My contact information, I'll put it back in the screen. So again, I'm the BDM for the Northeast. If I am not your BDM, okay, so let me put this down. If you are in the state of DC, and what I mean is physically present. So if you live physically in DC, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New York, Connecticut, Maine, all these blue states, literally, I am your BDM. Nina laughs. You know what I'm talking about. If you live a little further south, there is a bit of an odd division here. This is a new layout for us. It's been a few months, and I still have to check the map. If you're in Georgia, you're Andres, Nina. If you're in Florida,
I belong to you, woman. I belong to you.
So again, based on where you are, and the reason why we say this is because we want you to connect with a BDM that you might see in your area. So I had an agent actually tell me today, she Facebooked me. She goes, Layra, how come you don't invite me to your stuff in Jersey? I'm like, huh? I'm like, I'm sorry, and you are? And she's like, I live here in Jersey and I never got to see you, and you do stuff, and the agents tell me you invite them. I'm like, and you're registered? She goes, yeah, I have bookings. Turns out her address in the system was under Jacksonville, Florida. So of course, when I do events and I do my filtering of who the invite's going to, I'm not gonna put Florida. So she changed her address today to make sure that she's in Jersey. So now moving forward, she'll definitely get my invites. What do you mean with the other agents? So for you to get stuff from me, AB, you need to be registered again under BD Agent Rewards. I'm gonna put it here again, everyone. BDAgentRewards.com. If my mouse, there we go. This is how I can see. Something's wrong with my W, so I have to copy and paste. For me to see your numbers, for me to invite you to when I'm in your area, to reach out. The ones under our umbrella are the Planet Hollywood in Costa Rica, the Planet Hollywood in Costa Mujeres, Mexico, the adult scene, which is part of the Planet Hollywood, soon come Planet Hollywood in Dominican Republic, and Planet Hollywood in St. Martin. So the ones that are abroad, like for example, I'm going to Vegas this weekend. Again, if you're going to the Travel Agent Forum, I look forward to seeing you. And there's a Planet Hollywood there. It's not ours. The one in Florida is not ours. Again, it's the ones that are outside of the US.
Someone just asked that question, so I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, I'm reading the chat.
Yeah. You answer how to stay in touch, and with me, you can follow me on Facebook, Nina Jackson Mitchell. Nina Jackson Mitchell. You can follow me on Facebook. The recording can be found in 72 business hours on my YouTube channel. And the link is actually posted at the top of all of the main Evolution groups. And if you don't have access to it, ask your platinum and they will get it right over to you. Lida, do they offer to use Uplift?
What do you mean Uplift? Let me see. You mean Airlift maybe?
No, Uplift is the credit card, the credit option to make payments for your vacation. So yes, Vax does offer that for the most part, but let me pre-warn you about Uplift. Keep in mind that Uplift is credit. So the commission does not pay off until the credit has been paid in full. So Uplift is not something that I personally offer to clients. If they ask me about it, I will communicate that with them, but it is not something that I offer. It could take as long as they have to pay off that Uplift credit. That's 30 to 60 days after 60 to 90 days after they pay it off is when you'll get your commission. So keep in mind, I don't offer Uplift. And if they're booking more than 45 days away from the date of departure, the tour operator automatically gives you the deposit and payment plan option without having to do a soft credit check. So keep that in mind.
Thank you for that. I wasn't sure what she was referring to. Yeah, so I guess you had a customer ask her.
That's what I'm here for. Now, if they ask, I don't turn them down. It is an option. I've noticed that most people will ask for it if they're within a short period of time before they're getting ready to travel. That's a horse of a different color. But if you're planning their booking and it's 6 months in advance or 8 months in advance, it's an automatic payment plan that we have in place. So just use the one that the tour operator is offering.
Exactly. And that's something really interesting. Depending on the tour operator you're using, you have the benefit of putting a deposit down and then making a payment arrangement with them. So again, remember what I said earlier, those Marriott guests, if they want to book, they got to pay all that hunch. With you, they have the benefit of having a breakdown pricing.
Use that to market yourself. You guys ask all the time, why would somebody book with me versus booking them themselves? Remember these things and use these to show your value as a travel agent, right? All right, where do we get the marketing material for Royal?
Tell you where. I call it the Blue Bible. This is where I get my marketing material too when you all ask me. So it's BlueDiamondResorts.com. I'm gonna show you. 1 second. Because this is, I'm really, really glad you asked that question, Yori. So you would go to BlueDiamondResorts.com. Whenever the system decides to load, you're gonna go to Media Room right here. So my mouse is over Media Room, Images and Assets. When you're in Images and Assets, you're gonna select the brand, right? So let's go to the new Royalton. We're gonna select Royalton. We're gonna go to videos, for example. You're gonna go to resort. We're gonna go to Royalton Splash Riviera Cancun, right? The newest baby. And the videos and pictures that you see here, you can actually share with your customers. You can download it, you can send it to them, you can share on social media. Everything that's showed here is approved per marketing, so you can certainly share. Again, this is the newest baby. This is the Royalton Riviera Splash Cancun. And it's an extraordinary property, very, very open, very, very modern. This one is not yet part of the autograph collection. They do wait until like 3 months that it's fully open to go in there and do their actual inspection before any resort is part of their oh, you see, oh man, I missed it. Ooh, ooh. Okay, so this up here, those are swim outs. Oh man, it's going too fast. Those are the swim outs up here. For the Royalton Riviera Splash Cancun, and this resort again did just open its doors December 20th. Nina, if you go with your daughter, she will absolutely love it.
I was just thinking that.
There you go. It's funny, as parents, we don't even think about our fun anymore. We think about their fun. So this is the smaller lazy river that you see here. So again, anything that's on here, you can share with your customer. You see how small this is? This is the trampoline park, the laser tag room, the bowling alley. This is a buffet. We're actually known a lot for our buffet. Zen is the tempeh. I think this is the gelateria area. No, this is one of the main bars, but the other one was the gelateria. This is the main bar, Martini Mix. Agave is a Mexican restaurant. Okay, so this is the place I told you guys that has the marqueta. And it's going too fast, I'm sorry. This is a sports book. The resort, again, is amazing. It definitely does have absolutely something for everyone. Again, our signature restaurant, which is the Hunter Steakhouse. And this is our biggest steakhouse yet. So this resort has the biggest steakhouse within our portfolio. Isn't it beautiful? So again, anything that you see there, you can happily share. 1 second, let me try to get out so I can show you now my favorite part. So sometimes you guys will email me and ask me like super specific questions, and I get it. I should be an encyclopedia by now, but I am not. So you will ask me certain questions, and I'm like, oh my God, I literally have these fact sheets all downloaded on my computer, because God forbid it doesn't want to open online because this happened. I already have them. So in this particular area, you have the fact sheets, which will tell you the room category, how many guests fit in a room comfortably, right? Because you might tell me, hey, Layra, I'm trying to put my 6 guests in the 2-bedroom and it's not working. Well, technically there should be space for 8. Let's see what's going on, right? And as you can see is six adults, 2 kids. Okay. This is just a bit of the entertainment that's there. I did receive the list. There's certain little things on property that are not part of the all-inclusive, like the bowling, the laser tag, but the price point is accessible. So again, I live in Jersey, and I can tell you when I bring my son to the trampoline park, it's like $80. Here, it's like $15. So again, it's definitely a lot more accessible than going to do it here in the US. It will tell you which activities do have a search charge. Right here, you see the spa has a search charge, and whatnot. So again, this is the Blue Bible, is bluediamondresorts.com. Again, media room, images and assets, you select, see, this is internet failed. 1 second. Where are you guys again? Right here. My goodness. Oof, oof. No, no. So again, that's what I call the Blue Bible. If you have questions, sometimes I refer you that way, but that's where you can get all the marketing material on bluediamondresorts.com. Yes, it is, Kelly. Truly is. Something purchased. Oh, how do we see what's fully included in the purchase again? You'll see it again on that fact sheet. It'll tell you what's not part of the all-inclusive. Any other questions? Don't be shy.
Remember I said, you're not gonna flood me with questions at the end of this. When I get done with you guys, I'm gonna eat my dinner. It was just delivered. So ask your questions to the person who can best answer them for you. And again, please thank our wonderful
question. So if you are in California, dearest, your BDM's name is Andre Hudson. She sent it direct, and he's like, I don't see no question. So Andre Hudson is the BDM for California. He is actually based in Jamaica, but he does rep Cali, Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, North and South Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, Georgia, South and North Carolina.
And look for them on social media. Follow them and connect with them on social media.
Yes, you're more than welcome to also do so. I've been asked, what's your name? It's my name. In social media, just with the Garcia at the very end. Look at that. Somebody said about FAMS. Yes, it's sold out. My pleasure, Kelly.
All right, is that it for the questions? Guys, take another moment and please thank our wonderful BDM for taking time out of her evening to do this with us. We took some time away from her baby, so we're going to give her back to her family, but please let her know that we definitely appreciate her. Take this information and use it. Take those videos and those fact sheets. Try to learn about the properties, but take those videos and use them on social media. This is a great way to build your business. Post them on Facebook, on Instagram, make a post on TikTok. Take this information and use it. You want to sell that property and be able to use the travel agent rate? Exposure. You need exposure and you need to be consistent. So I'm hoping that you guys really got something out of this. Yes, it'll be on my YouTube, and the link is it's a pinned post at the top of all of the corporate evolution groups. So it's in the main evolution group with the black and white backdrop. It's also pinned at the top of the official Q&A group. And for those of you who are on my personal team, the Elite Travel Group is pinned at the top of that group as well, on the top of that group. So give me about 72 business hours, because I do have a life and a business to run too. So I'll put it on there in about 72 business hours so you guys can review this and don't just look at it once. Use this information to build your business. All right, you want to make the big bucks, you got to use this information. So Lyda, again, thank you so much for spending this time with us this evening. We look forward to having you back when you got something new and exciting to share with us. This was right on time with the launch of that new property and letting us know about the renovations of the dated properties. That was key, like super key. So we really appreciate your time. Guys, thank you for
My
logging.
absolute pleasure, ladies. Again, thank you so very much for joining. You all have my contact. If you're drawing a blank right now, you're like, oh my God, that was a lot of information. Always feel free to send me an email. I am an open book. Nina does know. You can always call me. If like I've literally have had agents call me and their guest or their client is right there, and they're like, Lyra, I am drawing a blank. You know, like I need to close the sale. Guess what? That's what I'm here for, to help you make business happen. So
All right, well, we definitely appreciate it. Guys, thanks for taking time out of your evening to pour into yourself to build your business. You are a viable part of Archer Travel Services program and Evolution Travel. So you're more than just a number. I appreciate you for making the choice to be a part of this wonderful company. I look forward to training with you again, because I learned a lot of stuff too. I'm going to rewrite my notes and enjoy my loaded potato. And I will see y'all on the next training. You guys have a wonderful evening and a better week on purpose. One love, y'all. Good night, everybody.
good night. Or as Nina would say, aloha.
I'm a Georgia peach now, so they say I have to say, hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all. Ciao.
Y'all have a good night. Love y'all.